Hi, this is Yufeng. Welcome to my midpoint review proposal. My student ID is 033447779. Okay, first about me. My name is Yufeng Wang. I come from China. I worked for a newspaper and a publishing house more than 4 years, and I got my bachelor's degree in graphic design, and now I'm studying web design in Academy of Art. The reason why I changed my major from graphic design to web design is I think web design become more and more important in our life. So I want to learning some different things, kind of like how do I build a website and how do I make application. And now I very love this change because I think web design is very interesting. Yes, I like it. Okay, before I start to talk about my topic, I would like to ask a question. That is, how many languages are there in the world? I think nobody will know the answer of this question. Actually, before I did the research, I don't know the answer either. And then I got this number. Oh, there are a lot of languages. There are 6,909 languages in the world. There are a lot. The reason why I show this number is I think nobody will know all of the languages because we just to study a second or third language, that is really hard thing. Such as me, I'm a Chinese. To study English is really hard for me. Yeah, so it's pretty hard. Okay, this is another diagram. This diagram is talking about how many international students studied in American. There are a lot of students. There are 819,644 international students studied in American. Wow. And all of these students, they speak different kind of languages, such as Chinese, Cantonese, Korea, and French, Japanese, or Mexican. So from this diagram, we will know that the translation application is necessary for a lot of people and for a lot of these students. I think nobody was good at English before they come to America because all of these students, they speak different languages. So translation application is very necessary. Okay, what I'm doing? What I'm doing is X Tran. The X Tran is a translation tool. I call it X Tran because X means express, Tran means translation. So X Tran means express translation. So what I want to do is the best and the fast way to get the translation. So in my application, it includes a lot of very good function, kind of like voice input and common phrases and a photograph translate. And another, my favorite one is the translation can be modified in my application. Yes. And next, I will show my concept video. After the concept video, I would like to talk about my competitor. There are three types of competitors here. They are online, offline, and offline. Because some application, when we use them, we have to use the network, kind of like 3G, 4G, or Wi-Fi. And some application, it just totally looks like a book, a dictionary book. And some application, they just between these two. Okay, the first one is online application, that is Google Translate. Oh, I think Google Translate is a very powerful translate application. I love this one because there are a lot of very powerful function here, kind of like a voice input translate and photograph translate. For example, voice input, after we setting the language, English to Chinese, and Chinese to English, and then we speak into the application. And next, the application will speak to us in another language. That is very cool. Huh? But Google Translate is online application, so if without a network, Google Translate doesn't work. Yeah, this is a little bit problem. And I took English class in Academy of Art. I remember that when I took the English class, the English teacher, they never recommend us to use the translation tool, kind of like Google. Because if we use the Google Translate to translate a sentence, most of the time there's some grammar mistake here. So I think maybe this is one of the reasons why the English teacher, they never recommend the student to use a translation tool like Google. Okay, the next one is offline. Well, this is Longman. I think everybody know Longman. Probably Longman is the most popular English dictionary in the world. A lot of students and a lot of people, they use Longman. If we just use Longman to check a single word, that is very good, because Longman will show the pronunciation to us, and they will give us some example sentence, and sometimes they show the picture or a short video to explain what's the meaning of that word. That is very good. But Longman is offline application. If we want to use Longman to check a word and you don't know how to spelling that word, the Longman doesn't work. Yes, this is a problem in Longman. And Longman, because Longman doesn't have the voice input function, and Longman also is not be able to translate a sentence. Yes, here's a little bit problem. And the third one is online and offline. This is Youdao dictionary. The Youdao dictionary is, I think, probably this is the most popular translation application in China. Almost the international students, they come from China using this application. I use this application also. Actually, Youdao is pretty much similar as Google. But Google is an online application. Youdao is online and offline. Even without the network, Youdao also working. We also can use Youdao to check some word. But if we compare Youdao and Google, there's some problem in Youdao, because Youdao doesn't have a voice input function, and the photograph translate in Youdao is really terrible. So in this part, Google Translate is much better than Youdao. Yeah, here's a little problem in Youdao. Okay, I just show the three competitors here. Actually, when I use this application, most of the time I use these three together. For example, I use Google Translate and Youdao to translate a sentence, and then I got the translation. And the next, sometimes I use Longman to check the word in that sentence, and then I can get the specific meaning of that word. But to use these three applications together seems like not very convenient. So what I want to do is application include all good function of these three applications, so I don't have to use three together. I only use one, that's enough. Yes, this is what I want to do. Okay, my target audience. The first target audience, the international student. So in that diagram, I just show there are a lot of international students studied in American, and all of these international students, they speak different kind of languages. So the translation tool is necessary for this student. And my second target audience are people who like to travel abroad, because there are almost 7,000 languages in the world. So nobody will know all of the languages. So when people travel abroad, the translation tool is necessary for these people. Okay, my primary persona. The first one, his name is Jelly. He's an international student. He come from China. This is the first year he came to America to study, and he's not very good at English. So this year he's taking English class at school. Well, Jelly got the same problem as me. So when he watching TV or listening to the radio, sometimes he just don't know what they say. So he wants to application has the voice input function, and which can help him to translate the word in the TV or the video when he don't understand. Okay, the next is the second one. Second one is Wei Haili. Wei Haili is Jiali's father. He's visiting his son from China to the United States. and he doesn't know English. Well, this is terrible. So the translation application include common phrases. It's good for him. When he want to communicate it to people, he can just find what he want in this part and show it to people. So the communication can be done. That is very convenient. Okay, the third one. The third one, she name is Janice. The Janice like to travel abroad. For example, when she travel to Chinese or Korea, when she go to a restaurant, she can use the photograph translation function to take a picture of the menu, and then she can translate the menu, and then next she can order the food. This is very good and pretty easy to use. Okay, this is my information architecture. We can see there are a lot of stuff here. The translation, common phrases and favorites and settings. In translation part, we can set in the languages, kind of like Chinese to English, Japanese to English, Korea to English, and a lot. And in input menu, we can choose which way we want to translate, such as voice input, photograph, and type. And common phrases. There are a lot of stuff here. We can find a lot of common phrases, kind of like travel, hotel, hospital, or restaurant. When we go to different places, we can just find different common phrases here. And my favorite, whenever we use translation to translate a sentence or a word, if we like it, we can just save this translation to my favorite, and then next time we can just find these things we just saved in my favorite. Okay, this is my proof of concept. The first part is to create an account. This part like almost the application does. Yes. So next I will follow the Jelly's text flow. So Jelly want to use the voice input function to get the translation. So first, he select the language, English to Chinese or Chinese to English, and then he click on the voice input button, and next he speak into the application, and then the application will speak to him in another language. Whoa, that is pretty cool. He get the translation. Okay, next, please focus here. I wrote a sentence here that is hold down the translation more than 2 seconds. The translation can be modified. Well, I love this function because Google doesn't do this, Youdao doesn't do this, Longman doesn't do this. There is no application tool does this. I don't know why. But I think this is a very useful function here. Maybe you will ask me why we needed this function. Actually, I think as a native English speaker, you have no idea about writing how hard for international student. For example, if I ask an American to write a paragraph in Chinese or in Japanese, that is really hard things, right? And because sometimes when we just know the meaning of Chinese and we know the meaning of Japanese, but we just don't know English. So the only thing we can do is to use Google to translate the whole sentence, because this time the Longman doesn't work. And there's a problem here, because when we use Google to translate the whole sentence, there are a lot of grammar mistake here. I think when people use Google Translate, nobody will translate more than 1 or 2 sentences, because there are grammar mistake. So if we translate more, we get more mistake here. But if we got this function, we don't have to worry about that problem. So for example, we type a sentence here and then we got the translation, and then we saw, oh, there's maybe a grammar mistake here, and then we can edit that translation. And then next, we can continue to type the second sentence. We got more translation here. If there are still some grammar mistake, we can continue to edit that. So in the end, the all translation we got is correct. So it's different than Google. because the translation in Google is not be able to click, and we cannot do anything in the translation in Google. Okay, so the next, for example, we translate a sentence, and then we got the translation, and I want to know the meaning of the word in that sentence. I just have to click on the word, so the translation will show the specific meaning of that word to me. That is pretty good, but Google doesn't do this. It's much better than Google, right? And then I can click on the plus button, so this word or this sentence will be saved to my favorite. So next time I can find whatever we save in my favorite. Okay, next. This is about Weihai Li's task flow. Weihai Li doesn't know English, so he click on the common phrases. He can find whatever he wants, kind of like a restaurant, hotel, travel, or something. And then when he wants to communicate to people, he can just show this to people. So the communication can be done. That is very easy. Okay, the last one. The last one is Janice's user task flow. Janice wants to use the photograph translate to translation to translate the menu. So he click on the photograph button, and then she take a picture about the menu. So the next, the translation will scan the text in the photo and translate it, or she just select which part she want to translate. That is very easy. Or she can, after that, she can just type whatever she want to translate, and then she got the translation. Wow. So this is all my proof of concept. Yes, technical data diagram. In this diagram, we can see that I would like to use CSS and jQuery Mobile and JavaScript and a Web Speech API to support my project, and then I will use HTML and Drupal to create the whole stuff. And the reason why I use Drupal to create the whole stuff is Drupal is very easy to create the user data space. The challenge in my project is how do I make the voice input. Actually, I read some book about voice input. The voice input is a very big topic. It just totally looks like a mathematic. That is really hard, but after I read that book, I find another blog. In that blog, I find another very easy way to do the voice input part. Now, in new JavaScript and Web Speech API, we can very easy to do that. We can just implement voice recognition by call Google interface voice recognition. So the voice input can be done by this. Yes, it's much easier than the mathematic way. Okay, this is my timeline. In next semester, I will take the user experience class first, and in spring semester, I will take the class about visual design and a mobile application and response website. And when I take the class of user experience, I will continue to do my user testing, kind of like I will refine the user text flow, and I will do some testing about interaction design and navigation and my content. When I take the class of the visual design and the mobile application, I think I will maybe redo the interface design and my icon design. Yes, and this is the X Tran is the idea of my concept. So before I took this class, I don't know which part I can make it by coding. So after I took all of this class, I think when I do the final review, I will present a very perfect project to you. Okay, the last part. The last part is about my visual design. This is my logo. the whole logo looks like an X because X Tran is the meaning of my application. So the whole logo looks like an X. And we can see here on the top right corner and the bottom left corner, and there looks like two arrows here. So I want to use these two arrows to imply the communicate. And we can see in these two corners, there are also two different colors here. So I want to use these two different colors to imply from one language to another language. Yes, this is the meaning of my logo. And here is four color I choose in my logo and application. Yes, that's all. Okay, so what I want to do is the best and fast way to get your translation. Yes, this is my project. Thank you so much for listening, and I'm waiting for your feedback. Thank you so much.